All right, let's talk about something that trips up so many people learning English, modal verbs. But don't worry, by the end of this quick explainer, you're going to feel so much more confident using them, I promise.
You know that feeling, right? You're trying to decide between I must go and I have to go. Or you're wondering, wait, should I say may or might here? It can be super confusing.
Well, if you're nodding along, you are so not alone. But here's the good news. The rules are actually way simpler than you think. And in the next few minutes, we're going to make it all crystal clear.
Okay, so first things first. Before we dive into the tricky stuff, what even is a modal verb? Let's lay down some ground rules.
The best way to think about them is as helper verbs. They aren't the main action themselves, they just add extra meaning, really important meaning, to the main verb. They help express ideas like possibility, it might rain, or ability, like I can swim.
And here's the best part. They're super reliable. You just have to remember two golden rules. Rule 1, they never, ever change. So you say he can, she can, it can, never he cans. Easy. And rule 2, you always follow them with the simple base form of the verb. So it's we should go, not we should to go. Get those two rules down and you're already halfway there.
Okay, got those rules in your head? Great. Let's jump into our first category, talking about ability and possibility. Basically, what you can do and what might happen. So let's break this down. Can is simple. It's for ability in the present. Could is just its partner for the past. Now, may and might are where it gets interesting. They're both about possibility, but we tend to use might when we feel a little less certain about something. It's a tiny difference, but it's what makes you sound more natural.
Now let's talk about being certain. When you have evidence and you're making a logical conclusion, you've got two powerhouse words. If you're pretty sure something is true, you use must, like, the lights are on, they must be home. And for the opposite, when you're sure it's impossible, use can't. He's not answering his phone, he can't be there.
All right, take a deep breath. We're heading into the big one. This section on obligation is where most of the confusion happens. But trust me, we're going to crack the code right now. Okay, here it is, the secret to everything. Must versus have to. It all comes down to where the rule comes from. Must is for an internal obligation. It's a feeling from inside you. I must remember to call my parents. But have to is for an external rule, a law, a company policy, something someone else is telling you to do. I have to pay taxes. That's not a personal feeling, right? That's the law. And this is just as important. In their negative forms, these two are completely different. Mustn't is like a giant stop sign. It means something is forbidden, prohibited. You mustn't smoke in here. But don't have to? That just means something is optional. There's no obligation. You can do it if you want, but you don't have to. You don't have to come to the party. See? Worlds apart. Oh, and a quick side note on need to. You can pretty much think of it as a close cousin of have to. It works in a very similar way to express a necessity.
Okay, we're on the home stretch now. Our last category is much more relaxed. It's all about giving advice and making friendly recommendations.
So should is your go-to word for everyday advice. It's friendly, it's common. You should watch this new show, it's great. Ought to is basically its more formal, slightly more serious older brother. It means the same thing, but it carries a little more weight, like when you're talking about a moral duty. You ought to tell the truth.
Okay, theory is one thing, but practice is where it really sticks. So it is quiz time. Let's see what you've picked up so far. Ready? Here's the first one. In my job, I blank wear a tie every day. It's a company rule. Is it must, have to, or should? Think about that clue. It's a company rule. And the answer is B, have to. Why? Because that company rule is an external obligation. It's not just your feeling, it's a rule somebody else made for you.
Okay, let's try number 2. You blank smoke in this building. It's strictly forbidden. What's the right word here? Is this optional, or is it a very strong no?
Yep, the answer is B, mustn't. That phrase, strictly forbidden, is your giant clue. Mustn't is the word we use for a strong prohibition. It means do not do this. Okay, last one. Imagine this little conversation. Person A asks, is David home? And person B, looking out the window, says, he blank B. I see his car. Which modal shows a strong, logical conclusion? It has to be A, must.
seeing the car as strong evidence, right? So you're making a logical deduction. You're almost certain. He must be home. Great job.
You did awesome on that quiz. Okay, before we wrap up, let's just quickly review the absolute most important points you need to remember.
Think of this as your 5-point cheat sheet. Must is your internal feeling. Have to is an external rule. Mustn't means it's forbidden. Don't have to means it's optional. And can't is for when you're sure something isn't true. Honestly, if you can just lock these 5 distinctions in your head, your English is going to take a massive leap forward.
So there you have it. You now hold the keys to mastering modal verbs. The knowledge is officially yours. So the only question left is, how should you go out and practice using them today? Go give it a try.